Hey y'all, it's Day. So, I am going to be doing a reading for us. Very interesting because I usually go to sleep by midnight every night. However, a couple, like 3 hours ago, no, 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago now, I decided to drink a coffee at like 8 o'clock. And I knew that would probably make me want to stay up. So because of that, I stayed up, and it's already like 1 something, but it's like now I'm ready to go to bed, and I suddenly feel the need to do a reading. So I'm like, dang, I should have did this reading like a couple of hours ago if I was gonna do a reading, but I didn't know that I would feel like I need to do a reading. So here we are, looking forward to this reading for that purpose. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So right away, the first card that we have here is the Six of Swords. And I'm hearing the word leaning, which is very interesting. We also have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse on the far right of the spread, and this Six of Swords is on the far left here. We also have the High Priestess coming out at the bottom of the spread, and coming out sideways is the Fool card. So I heard the word leaning with this Six of Swords in reverse, which is very interesting. And the feeling that I'm getting is kind of like, I'm getting like a sense of fear, or, and I'm hearing the word procrastination now. I'm getting a sense of fear, and it feels like being pulled or called to do something, and it feels like a project or an interest, something that you would want to do or you find inspiration or interest in doing, but there's some element of fear that you have in regards to pursuing it because of possibly what others may think, what society may think, or something like it feels like could, by you pursuing this, you could experience some form of repercussion for it. And it feels kind of like socially. But the word leaning was coming up, and it just feels like you're being encouraged to lean into the discomfort, is the way that it's feeling with this Six of Swords in reverse. And the Six of Swords can represent like moving on from, moving on towards something that you maybe emotionally didn't want to leave, or it's kind of like having to leave a certain aspect, experience, situation, but it's kind of like leaving it onto something else, but having some kind of heavy thoughts about it. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of like I'm hearing a change of direction, something that like it may have not been planned, or something like that. So yeah, so I'm hearing leaning with this Seven of Swords, and it feels like something that you're being called to do, something regarding your interest, or something that inspires you that may not be supported. It could also be something that's frowned upon, or something that's causing you some form of anxiety, depression, or fear of having to experience repercussions, or I'm hearing backlash. So very interesting. But the key thing is like, it feels like something that you're called to do. So you're being encouraged to lean into that discomfort in pursuing whatever this is. So like I said, we have the Knight of Pentacles on the right side of the spread. And with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like, okay, I'm hearing the word outcast. So it feels like there's something that you're being called to pursue. There's something that you're meant to experience, something that you're meant to carry out. And I'm hearing the word evolve. So something about what you're meant to carry out through this journey or experience, whatever you're pursuing, you specifically are meant to carry out this experience. It's a part of your life path, your journey. And with the word evolve coming through, it's like something about pursuing and carrying out whatever this experience is going to add on to and help you evolve as a person. Like it's going to add on to your character, your abilities, your skills in regards to your life path, which is very interesting. Also, we have the High Priestess here, which is speaking to this sense of, I'm hearing, integrity that you have in your mind. It's like, it's kind of speaking to that aspect of this situation, speaking to like you being called to do something. It's like there's a higher version of yourself or a higher understanding that you have that you haven't fully integrated into like this physical reality. There's like a higher understanding that you're meant to do something, but because of this fear that you have of some repercussions that may come with pursuing this journey, this interest, this inspiration, you have like this higher knowledge that you're meant to pursue it. And that's what this High Priestess is speaking to. You have this higher knowledge that you're supposed to be pursuing this. And I'm hearing the word grant. Very interesting. Grant. Yeah, so it's like you're being called to kind of like listen to your intuition in regards to this situation, regardless of the fear or in spite of the fear of, I'm hearing, rejection. And like I said, with this fear of repercussions, consequences, or rejection, it feels like in a social aspect. So we also have the Fool card, which is coming out sideways beside this High Priestess. So something about pursuing this project or this path is like, I'm hearing calling, like something about you pursuing this calling is going to be allowing you to experience a sense of freedom within your being able to walk or follow your path, and also your authenticity or your sense of authenticity. And the fact that this Fool card is coming out sideways is letting me know as a reader that this is something that you haven't actually decided on or have taken action in. So you still have the opportunity to make this choice in pursuing this in order to, I'm hearing, receive this aspect or experience of freedom. This aspect of freedom. So it's like, wow, I'm hearing walk and I'm hearing journey. So it's like you're being encouraged to walk on this journey or pursue this journey in order to experience, I'm hearing enlightenment, to experience this sense of freedom that you haven't exercised yet in your life. Wow. So the top of the deck, we had the Wheel of Fortune, which is interesting. And that is representing the fact that you're being called, and I'm hearing led. You're being led in regards to this journey, this path that you've been called to pursue, or you're being pulled to pursue. And it's also a reminder that you're not pursuing this journey on your own or by yourself. Your spiritual team is guiding and protecting you along the way. You don't have to feel alone. The bottom of the deck here, we have the Star card, which is very interesting. With the Star card coming out, it's like, oh, I'm hearing the word reprieve, which means like to, I think it's like to delay or to suspend punishment. So it's like speaking to the fear of backlash we were hearing earlier, or fear of like something that has to do with society rejecting you or outcasting you. With a Star card coming out, it's kind of speaking to like you will be taken care of, you will be okay, and some aspect of healing is coming up as well. And I hope that I feel like it has more to say as well. Okay, so also what's coming out is this Page of Pentacles in reverse. And this is coming out underneath this Six of Swords, where you're being called to pursue this, I'm hearing, challenge. So with the Page of Pentacles coming out in reverse underneath that Six of Swords, there is an acknowledgement that like something about going on this journey, on this path, is going to put you in a position where you are creating more opportunities for, I'm hearing, spiritual abundance that will come and present itself as like material wealth or material opportunities that can bring in material abundance. So like the ability to be able to make money, or opportunities to make and create money, or just like be creative. It's just coming in the form of opportunities. So going on this, pursuing this journey is going to create more opportunities that will manifest and come to you in physical ways. So that's beautiful. Wow, that was a lot. Okay. And I just heard figure it out. So on top of this Star card, where I heard reprieve, to suspend punishment or delay punishment, out came this Five of Swords. And I'm not sure what that means. Hopefully I'll get some clarity on that later. So we have the Eight of Swords coming out. And this is coming out underneath this High Priestess. Wow, okay. Interesting. Oh, I only have 18 minutes. I'm gonna have to make some space on here. So with this Eight of Swords coming out underneath this High Priestess, and I'm hearing the word intellect. It's very, very interesting and very hard. Okay, the way that it's coming through is like something about your logic and this intuition that you're being encouraged to acknowledge or take seriously is out of alignment. It's like you're being encouraged to start taking your intuition more seriously instead of allowing your logic to be the only sense of inner compass that you have. Wow. So it's like you are receiving like encouragement, I'm hearing, and you're receiving intuition through the way of like being pulled towards something, being inspired by something, but it's like you're not answering that call just yet, just because you haven't decided to actually commit to making this decision yet with this Fool card coming out sideways. And it's like intellect is coming up again. Something about your relationship to your intellect or logic is kind of like getting in the way of you acknowledging, I'm hearing, your senses, acknowledging other aspects or avenues of being able to sense things. So like acknowledging or realizing that you being inspired by something as a source of, I'm hearing, communication. So like acknowledging that you being attracted to art or being wow, okay, like acknowledging your attraction to something as you like having the green light or the right to pursue something. And then I was hearing censoring. So I was also hearing censoring. Very interesting. So this censoring, I believe, is also relating to this fear or whatever's holding you back in pursuing this path. And it's like related to censoring. So something about your surroundings or this backlash I'm hearing again that you're afraid that you'll receive is related to this censoring. It's like something about your environment or the fears that you have of what society or other people may say or think about you pursuing whatever this is causing you to be censored. So censoring your sense of freedom to act, your sense of freedom to pursue, your sense of freedom to explore. I'm trying to like reveal these cards intuitively, which ones I'm gonna flip over first. Okay. So then we have this Knight of Cups, which is coming out directly underneath this Page of Pentacles, where I was saying that something about you pursuing this path, this journey that you're being led to is going to bring in some form of abundance or opportunities in your physical reality. So with this Knight of Cups coming out underneath that Page of Pentacles, I'm hearing offering, and the way that it's coming through is this Knight of Cups is actually representing you, and what it's saying is like you have something specifically to offer, and in you pursuing or this path or walking on this path is revealing that on this journey you realize that whatever you're creating or whatever opportunity is being presented to you is going to provide you an avenue to present something. So it's like God, your angels, guides, ancestors, your spiritual team is saying like you have something to offer, you have something to present, you have something to contribute for others to receive, enjoy, and experience. So that could be like 333 on the clock. That could be like, starting a business, creating something as an artist, creating some product or services. I'm not sure what this journey is. It's not even specifying what this particular journey is, and it doesn't really matter. But it's like you have something to offer, you have something to present, and I'm hearing you have something to provide to others. Wow. So it's like you're going to be producing something that others are going to get to experience. And the way that I'm feeling right now is like something that you do or that you're inspired by that you kind of like underestimate in some type of way. It's like somebody that you see like they're creative, and then other people be like, you can make money off of that, right? You can sell that, right? Like, I know some people that might want to buy that, but it's like, I just do this for fun, or like, this is just something I do for pastime. And it's like you not acknowledging, or maybe you even feeling guilty, like, I just do this for fun. I'm not doing this to make money. And it's just like some people will like feel guilty, or they'll feel like they don't want to make money off of this creative thing or something. And it's just like, dude, don't sleep on yourself and don't feel guilty if you make money off of something that you feel like doing for fun. Like sometimes we associate work or being able to earn with suffering. Like, I need to suffer, or I need to feel like this is work in order for me to feel worthy of receiving money for it. Like, no, you could do something that you don't mind doing. You could do something that you enjoy doing. You can do something that you're inspired to do and make money. So it's like you don't have to associate work with suffering. Like, please do this. Okay. So it's like I want to take out this card, but then I'm trying to decide which cards to take out first, but I'm being called to take this one out. So this Ace of Wands coming out in reverse, is coming out directly underneath this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And I forgot exactly what I said about the Nine of Pentacles. However, I could still pick up the energy and just like something about you needing to pursue. You're needing to pursue this path because, oh yeah, it's a part of your path. Like there's an aspect of your life journey that you're meant to carry out, to pursue. For others' benefit is what I'm hearing. It's a part of the role that you were meant to play out in your life. And so with this Ace of Wands in reverse, coming out underneath that Knight of Pentacles, is just kind of acknowledging and reiterating that you haven't pursued this journey, but it's coming through as inspiration. The Knight of Wands speaks to inspiration and action that you're meant to pursue. And so with it coming out in reverse, it's just acknowledging like there's this spark, this calling, this sense of inspiration already within you that you just haven't been acknowledging where you're answering the call. Or like also it's reiterating that you feel a sense of guilt by pursuing and profiting off of this sense of inspiration or creativity that you already have. So it's like acknowledging that you're not pursuing it at this particular time. But with it showing up, it's showing up and reiterating that, hey, if this is something that you've underestimated, this talent, this creative endeavor, this idea that you have, and you haven't been taking it seriously, you haven't been valuing it or pursuing it, with the Ace of Wands coming out, it's just like acknowledging for anyone who has kind of underestimated this talent that they have. It's like, hey, you have something here that you're meant to do something with. And the overarching theme of this Ace of Wands is reverse is just kind of like someone sleeping on their talent or undervaluing their talent. Wow. What? Okay, so I'm taking from the top of the deck here. So we have Temperance. Where is this going? The Temperance card is coming out. And I'm feeling it coming out on top of this Wheel of Fortune. So I'm hearing pursuant. I'm also hearing guidance. And I'm hearing prudence. And I forgot what prudence meant. Very interesting. Wow. So basically what I'm getting with this Temperance card falling out on top of the Wheel of Fortune, where I was saying that, like, remember as you're pursuing this journey and you have these fears that you're not going on the journey alone, that your spiritual team is helping you, and I'm hearing guiding you throughout the process. Basically with that Temperance card coming out on top of that Wheel of Fortune is again acknowledging that, oh yeah, I'm hearing commercial vehicle, and I was hearing that earlier with this Knight of Cups. Commercial vehicle meaning you're being encouraged to move from one stage of your life to the next. So grab and pack up your things and prepare to move on to the next stage of your life. But with the Temperance card, it's like your angels, guides, your spiritual team is like basically stepping forward and wanting to reiterate that reiterate their presence in your life, and that they're going to be actively helping you, guiding you in the pursuit of your dreams. This is very interesting, the way that's coming out, since I've had readings before where the spiritual team is like acknowledging that they're going to be present, but just not necessarily in this particular way. And it's kind of like just like this emphasis on like it's very interesting. How do I articulate that? The best way that I can articulate it is kind of like they're going to kind of like make things easier for you, make things smoother for you. It's like they're handling you in a very special and particular way. It feels like they're going to be very attentive to you during this process. They're going to make things easier for you. And the fact that it's coming through temperance is kind of like they're going to try to make the environment or your interaction with the environment as you're pursuing your goals and your path kind of like as easy as possible, for lack of a better word, but kind of like they're going to try to make your process smooth, because I think they're acknowledging that you feel very tense about the situation and fear of, I'm hearing persecution, like fear of rejection. So it's kind of like they're gonna kind of like if you have to deal with other people, they're gonna try to like help you, help the people that you may have to go to or work with or work around. They're gonna try to make it easier for you. That's the best way that I can explain it. It's kind of like maybe you're worried about how you would be able to get certain things or aspects done, and they're going to kind of like provide helpful people for you. It feels like initially in pursuing this journey, they'll try to make it easier for you because of how anxious and the fear that you have. Very interesting. That is very interesting. So then we have the Three of Cups in reverse that's coming out on top of this High Priestess, which was I was saying earlier with the High Priestess, is like something about your logic, your logical mind, your rational mind is kind of getting in the way of you pursuing this path. And so with this Three of Cups falling out on top of this High Priestess, and I'm hearing the word rational, and I'm hearing anger. So it's just like you're really concerned about how others may react to you, or if other people may support you, or I'm hearing fans, like something, like you're really worried about this persecution or backlash that you might get from other people regarding this path that you're meant to take. And that's coming out in reverse on top of this High Priestess, and that's a part of keeping you from pursuing this path. And that's why the Eight of Swords was coming out underneath this High Priestess and the Three of Cups. And that's a part of like keeping you trapped or keeping you from moving forward or pursuing because of these worries that you have. Very interesting. So then we have the Chariot coming out. Beautiful. And the Chariot is actually coming out on top of this Three of Cups in reverse as well. So you're definitely encouraged to move forward in pursuing this path, this passion with courage, in spite of, and I'm hearing controversy, in spite of this fear that you may have. We also have the Five of Cups in reverse. And this is falling out on top of this Five of Swords, which came out on top of this Star card. And I was saying earlier that I felt like the Five of Swords had something to say, but it wasn't really saying anything earlier. But in regards to the Star card, it was just speaking about like, you will be okay. Try not to worry so much about this repercussions or this fear or rejection by other people. So with the Five of Swords, it's like you're really having fears of being attacked or people plotting against you, or I'm hearing fear of judgment or like fear of alarming other people around you. I'm also getting this sense of like you feeling like the associations that you have right now and acknowledging you pursuing this path will be alarmed and kind of like think of you or view you as the enemy. It's kind of like, I don't know if you have been beholden to a certain group that have maybe a certain type of mindset or perspective on life, and it's like something about you pursuing this goal or this path like alerts certain groups of people or associations that you may have had, where it's like now they're looking at you as a threat, which makes sense to why persecution, rejection, and like social anxiety was coming up earlier in the reading. It's kind of like something about you pursuing this path is gonna like startle other people, is a part of your fear. We're running out of time, so let me make more space. Okay, so yeah, so you're worried about persecution from others, and how they may react to you pursuing this calling. Wow. So that means your ideals are changing, or certain perspectives that either you have held by being a part of this association or group of people, or maybe realizing that those perspectives were never yours or something like that. Yeah, they're feeling like, wait, you're a part of that? That's kind of like how it's coming through. It's like you're afraid that people are going to start looking at you like, wait, what? And like I'm getting like kind of like traitor energy, like they feel like, oh hell no, that's what it's feeling like. So yeah, so on top of that Five of Swords and the Star card, we have the Five of Cups, and the word repressed is coming through. It was 111 on the clock. Repressed is coming through. So it's like there's aspects of yourself that you are just now discovering, and it's making you feel like, damn, now I have to walk away, or realizing like I have to, in order to acknowledge this calling that I have, or this new realizations that I have, about my path requires me to kind of throw away or walk away from some aspect of what I've known or that I've committed myself to through group associations. It's like I've spent a part of my life like being a part of this association under a particular understanding. And I heard the word stance, like I've held a certain stance for a particular amount of time, and now I'm being asked to kind of like walk away from that indirectly by pursuing this goal. So something about what you're meant to pursue now is like now becoming out of alignment with what you have previously associated with. Wow. And that's giving you like this sense of loss, and also it makes you feel kind of like I'm getting like hypocritical energy or like betraying the group type of energy. Wow. And there's also this fear of like, you know how like, this is just an example, like you know how if you're part of like maybe a Christian group or a church, for example, and like maybe you venture off and do other things, like how like the church or members of the church were like, well, you were never really Christian, or they were never really Christian because they walked away from it. It's like because you change directions, it's like some people would say, well, like you were never really that, even if you were in your head, in your mind, in your intentions. So it's kind of like that type of perception that you also have a fear of. Top of the deck, we have the Moon card here in reverse. And basically that's just speaking to you kind of having to feel through and acknowledge, like I said, there's other aspects of your ability to sense stuff that you are kind of not acknowledging because you're trying to use your logical and rational mind, and that's kind of getting in the way of you pursuing this goal because you're not acknowledging other aspects of yourself, or other avenues of channeling or receiving information. Like I said, rational was coming up, so it's like you're thinking rationally and logically in situations where you're not acknowledging your emotional body is saying like, hey, I'm inspired by this. Hey, like I'm feeling called to do that. My energetic body is more in alignment with this. It's like something about those aspects of yourself and ability to like, those aspects of yourself are also a tool to use as a compass, that kind of tells you what you should be doing, and you're not acknowledging those other aspects. Instead, you're choosing to only be rational and logical. Too much in your head. So yeah, so that's what the Moon card in reverse is coming out to, I'm hearing, encourage you to kind of respect, acknowledge, and recognize those other aspects of yourself that can also lead you and guide you. Wow. It's like I'm scared to shuffle because I feel like a lot more cards are going to be coming out, and it's just like I'm trying to monitor it, but I can't monitor it. Okay, but I just didn't want the cards to come out too fast. I do it. It's like I feel like they have so much more to say. I just know they have so much more to say. It's not even that I don't want to do the reading. It's just like I feel anxious energy. Like, I don't know why. I'm feeling this anxious energy of like, I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know how they're going to react. And like anticipating persecution. Like, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. That's how it feels. The word morgue came up. Throughout the reading, I was kind of like getting like a little bit of like ties to a gang or a mob as well. And it's like something about what you're doing is like not in alignment or not cool or something like that. And like kind of a fear of, I'm hearing, being judged. And it's like, I was kind of getting sentiments of like somebody's trying to get out of the mob or somebody's trying to get out of a gang, and like concerns for maybe possibly getting beat up or physically harmed for trying to like get out of that. Wow, the cards just keep coming. There's a lot of cards. Okay, thank you. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, so yeah, so basically, this full card was coming out underneath that. It was coming out underneath this 5 of Cups. And where you're acknowledging that you will have to kind of like walk away from certain aspects of your beliefs or perspectives on life that you carried for a while. It's like, dang, I carried these beliefs. I lived by this type of lifestyle or this type of outlook on life for a while. And it's like, now I'm realizing that the way that I was viewing life before, the way that I moved through life before, the way that I pursued life, is it's like you're realizing that that's not, I guess, a correct way of viewing things, or you realize a better perspective on life. And it's like certain ties that you may have had with whatever group association that this was. It's like something about pursuing this new journey or path, kind of like, I'm hearing, invalidates some of the beliefs or perspectives that you previously held. And that is coming through as a feeling of like, this is someone mourning over spilled milk or things that they've pursued or invested in. Wow. Very interesting. So with the full card coming out underneath that, this is all acknowledging that these are some things that's keeping you from pursuing this path. Fear of persecution. And it's also tied to your true sense of freedom that you have not yet exercised because of these ties that you have had. That's crazy. So, underneath that full card, we have the 9 of Swords. So I'm hearing angst. So experiencing a form of anxiety in thinking about all of this. And also on top of the Fool card, the Magician card came out in reverse. And with this Magician card coming out in reverse, it's kind of acknowledging, like I said, something about these perspectives, beliefs that you once held as being a part of this group association. And the way that you live life is like, I've lived my life based off of these perspectives and these beliefs, and I've benefited from them. I'm also getting like, you've lived by them, you've benefited from them, you have possibly harmed other people in the process of living out these perspectives. And it's like, with the Magician card coming out reverse, it's like you just kind of acknowledging this aspect of your life that is kind of complicated to explain. It's kind of like, I'm hearing the word duties. Wow, it's very complicated. Basically, what I'm trying to say is kind of like, the example that's coming through is kind of like, whatever this group association and the beliefs and perspectives that you haven't had and held and lived by, it's kind of like, I've literally fed my family off this shit for years, and now I'm having to just drop it. That's the way that it's coming through. It's kind of like, you literally lived, breathed this aspect of your life through the actions, perspectives that you've had. Like you was really in it, into it, benefited from it, harmed people from it, lived from it, fed your family with it. And it's like, now this aspect, you're being called to drop those perspectives because you've realized something new, something better, something truer. That's basically what it's saying. It's just kind of like, you're looking back and realizing your influence and the things that you have done. I'm getting a sense of realizing the karma, a sense of realizing your influence by being a part of this association, and holding these beliefs and living by them. It's kind of like a sense of karma, and that's why I was getting earlier in the reading, like this sense of being a hypocrite, or feeling like a hypocrite, or feeling like a traitor, and that fear that comes with worrying about the people in this association that you have been tied to, like being alarmed and looking at you differently and being like, wait, what? Like, you're doing this now? It's like they're viewing you as a traitor. And I'm hearing standoff. So it's kind of like speaking to that fear of repercussions from trying to separate from this group or association. Dang. That's wild. So, we also have the Page of Cups coming out sideways. This is coming out on top of this Magician card in reverse and the Fool card coming out sideways. And this is basically, I'm hearing influence. Very interesting. interesting. So what I'm getting now is like you have a form of influence that you may not realize that you have, and it's specifically in regards to this group association that you're trying to separate from or leave. And it's like you have a sense of influence where I'm getting like there's other people within this group that also want a better life, also want to like leave or not be a part of the association. And something about you leaving this association is going to help or spark other people that also want to move out of that perspective. And they may or may not realize it, but it's like I feel like they feel that way too. So for example purposes, like an example that's coming through is like, say you've been working at a company for X amount of years. Like I said, you've lived it, you've breathed it, you fed your family off of it for years. It's been a huge part of your identity and your character for a number of years. And basically the examples coming through is like, say you're wanting to leave that company and you have the courage to finally express to the members of that association that, hey, I want to start a new chapter in my life. I want to move on to something new. I just realized that this is no longer aligning with who I am now, and I'm wanting to move forward. The message that's coming through is that by you taking that action and expressing that, there's other people like your coworkers within the company that have been feeling the same way. And there will be an admittance by those group and those people within the association that will be basically acknowledging like, hey, yeah, I've been feeling it too. I'm tired of it as well. And also and interested in, like, I'm getting people wanting to pick your brain and ask you more about like, what is it that you're being called to do? Like, what are you going to be doing? Like, they are interested in wanting to know what are the things that you have in the plan as well, because they want to kind of take that inspiration that you have and kind of like put it in their mind. I'm getting like a picture of a mental note of like, they're like, I'm seeing them like trying to take the reason for why you're wanting to move on from this paradigm or reality, and like trying to use that as an avenue of inspiration for them to escape as well. So wow. Okay, so we have the Death card coming out in reverse, and this is also coming out on top of this Page of Cups as well as this Five of Cups in reverse, where you're acknowledging that you're going to have to let some aspects of your identity go in order to pursue this new, I'm hearing, career. So some aspects of yourself and your identity is going to have to die or be transformed in order to pursue this new path. And that's what you're acknowledging and kind of conflicted about. We also have the Eight of Wands. And I feel this coming out on top of this Five of Cups and Page of Cups as well. And I was hearing commercial vehicle again. And what's coming through is like reiterating again that like you have this influence where it's like you're the first one, and it's very hard for you within this group association that is going to take action and build up the courage to leave the organization or association. But that courage that you're going to have is actually going to inspire other people from that same group or association to leave or move on as well. So it's like I was hearing the first one. So you're going to be the first of many. It's like everybody else is feeling stuck. Where was that card? Where was that card at? I'm trying not to. Oh, here it is. Everybody else or a lot of people within this group association is feeling trapped, but nobody's saying anything. And you're going to be the first one to kind of take that stand, and other people are going to like slowly follow your lead, basically. That's wow. And I'm getting this imagery of like people walking out of a workplace. I know I was mentioning earlier, like somebody is like associated with a gang or a mob. But this message is for more than just one person. The other example is like the workplace. Someone is deciding to leave or walk away from a workplace. Like I'm getting like an office building or a company. And they're going to be the first of many to walk away from this company. And you being the first is going to inspire other people. Oh, that's crazy. The Queen of Swords is also coming out. On top of this Eight of Wands, where I'm saying you're going to be the first of many. Stop. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. So you taking a stand, you articulating your feelings, and it's like there's also this emphasis on you kind of like having a conversation or expressing to this group association like your feelings and in regards to this path. It's kind of like on some like, I love you guys, I appreciate everything that it's done for me, like, but I'm just wanting and needing and being called to move on to a next stage in my life. That's be like there's an emphasis on some form of conversation about moving on from this group. And that's also why it was like coming up like you fed your family off of these beliefs, these perspectives, this association, and it's a huge part of your identity or character that you've held for some years. It's been a huge part of your identity, and so like walking away from this is kind of like it's heavy on your heart and your mind, and you worry about some sense of betrayal that the other members of this group association may have towards you. So there's an emphasis on this communication in leaving or walking away from this group association, which is quite powerful. So we also have the 10 of Wands coming out here. And I feel this coming out on top of this Death card, where we're saying that like there's certain aspects that of your identity that's being called to die or fall away from you as you're moving forward into this new journey. And I'm hearing reprieve again. So this 10 of Wands is falling out on top of that. And what's coming through is like a sense of burden being released or falling away from you in allowing this transformation, in allowing this sense of identity, these perspectives that you've carried for so long, with you allowing it to die as you've realized better things. in pursuing this path is like a sense of burden of you no longer having to pretend that these ideals and perspectives that you've held for so long still represent who you are now. There's a burden that you're allowing to fall away, or that you're intentionally dropping or putting down, and that is like allowing you to feel lighter in life as you walk and pursue your new goals and ideals. That is also associated with your identity and character and who you are now moving forward. Like, do you understand? So like, just like the power in this Ten of Wands falling on top of this Death card, the Death card came out in reverse, acknowledging that you're struggling letting this happen. Death comes to everyone, the rich, the poor, the famous, the new, the old. Like, death comes to everyone. It does not discriminate. But with it coming out in reverse is speaking to the fact that you're delaying the process of death. Like, what? Like, what? Stop. Quit playing me. Quit playing me. So yeah, you're, by allowing death to happen, you're allowing these burdens. I'm hearing conformity to no longer weigh you down. Wow. So then we have the Empress. This is coming out on top of this Queen of Swords, where you're being encouraged to have this conversation, and I'm hearing communication. So it's like having a sense of confidence in this and having this conversation. You're encouraged to have a sense of confidence within this conversation that needs to be had. Then we have the World card coming out on top of this Ten of Wands in reverse. These burdens that you're encouraged to put down. So, also it's just like I'm hearing the word integrity. So it's kind of like you're going to be admired for your courage in having this conversation with the group associations. Like I said, like you have a fear of being persecuted, others viewing you as like you're a traitor or you're betraying the group, but you're actually going to be admired, and people are actually going to look up to you and like encourage you and be like really happy for you, which is interesting. We also have the Two of Cups coming out. Very interesting. What does that mean? What does that mean? The Two of Cups is coming out on top of this Empress card, where I say you're encouraged to have confidence in this communication that you're being encouraged to have. Yeah, so it's providing, like, with you having this conversation, people are going to have a new sense of respect for you. And there's also like this exchange that people are going to want to have with you. Like, I'm getting like influences coming up again. You not realizing the influence that you have on these people by being the first to make this decision. People are going to want to have certain exchanges with you. And I'm also getting like looking up to you in a way where they're going to, like I said earlier, take interest in like well, how are you doing this? How are you, like, what else are you going to be doing if you're not going to be doing this? And how can I use that to leverage a sense of inspiration for me to also take these steps? There's this certain type of exchange that people within this group association that are also wanting to get out of this situation are having with you. I'm hearing big brother, like they're looking up to you, asking you for advice as well. We also have the Ace of Cups here. Wow. So this is also falling out on top of this Two of Cups. And I'm hearing commercial vehicle again. So good things are coming from this source of inspiration that you're providing to others by being the first, where they're asking you for advice and encouragement. There is just an emphasis on, like, how did you do it? Like, what are you doing now? Like, wow. I have so many cards. I hope I finish before the time is up, because I don't have that much space on my phone. What the hell? Oh, this card came out earlier. On top of this Five of Swords, it's like you're being looked at as a leader. This was coming out. You're being looked at as a leader because you're meant to be the first. So you are the King of Swords. It's coming out sideways because you haven't just made the decision to pursue this path. And I'm hearing career again. But because you're going to be a source of inspiration for others, that's what's coming out sideways. And then also this Hermit card was coming out sideways. The Hermit can act alone. They decide to go on a journey alone. And I'm hearing the first. Like, you're taking that leap. You're building up the courage to be the first. And that's why the Hermit was coming out sideways for you. So the King of Pentacles was coming out on top of the Chariot, where you're being encouraged to pursue this journey. The High Priestess, your logic, fear of judgment, answering the call. Yeah, answering the call. On top of that, we have the King of Pentacles. So it's like, I'm hearing like it's going to set you up. We also have the Page of Swords in reverse. It's like communication might not be your strongest point, but something about this experience is going to encourage you to continue to develop your communication. We also have the Hierophant coming out in reverse. So this is definitely something that you've been encouraged to do, something that you're meant to do. We have the Four of Cups coming out on top of that Hierophant. So it's kind of like speaking again to, like, you've been getting signs that you're meant to pursue this journey. You just haven't been acknowledging them because of the channels that they have been coming through to you. And we spoke about that earlier in the reading. So that's just acknowledging, like, you're sitting on it and kind of like you're getting the calls, but you're not answering it. Then we have the Ten of Swords. This is coming out on top of the Page of Swords. And this is speaking to, I'm hearing fear of judgment. It's like you have something that you need to communicate, you need to come clean with. It's basically like You've been carrying this mask, which was confirmed through the 10 of Wands, where he's carrying all those sticks and he's kind of like burdened by them. And it's like, with the Page of Swords coming out, it's acknowledging that this is not something that you usually do, but you have something to confess, basically. You have something to confess to this group association, like, hey, I'm not happy here, or hey, it's time for me to move on. I appreciate you guys for everything that I've been able to do through this association, but it's time for me to move on. This Page of Swords is a confession, and feeling like that's going to destroy you, it's going to kill you. It's kind of that fear with that 10 of Swords is saying. It's kind of like you feel like by expressing to this group association that you can no longer authentically continue to be a part of the group. You feel like that is, from your perspective right now, it's kind of like you feel like they're going to take it as everything that you've learned from this association is a lie, because it's no longer a part of who you are now. Going forward, you kind of feel like you're going back on your word or something. Like there's some kind of like association that you've had that you feel like by pursuing this path, you're basically throwing everything away. Anyways, I've articulated that to the best of my ability throughout this reading, and I'm running out of time. I have like a minute left, so King of Cups is coming out. So wow, this is beautiful. With the King of Cups coming out, it's like basically acknowledging, by you doing this, it's like you're being real. You're acknowledging all parts and aspects of yourself. You're being authentic, and being honest with your peers. I'm hearing you, by like just telling them the truth, like letting them know how you really feel, and being true to like what you're being called to do. And like I said earlier, these people are actually going to be looking up to you, and I'm getting like a new found sense of respect for you. Like I feel like other people be like, I respect him for that. I respect him for that. So wow, this reading has given me so much anxiety. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm out of time.